Today, I'm going to talk about a very classic Leica. Hey, what's up everyone? You good? This is Hyunmin Jung from HMJ Photography. Every week I post videos about camera and photography in English, Japanese, and Korean. So if I'm speaking in other language, like this, どうもこんにちは、HMJ Photography のチョンヒョンミンです。Or like this. 안녕하세요, HMJ Photography의 전현민입니다. Then please don't get scared and just go away because there will be a same video in English. So today, I want to talk about this very classic Leica camera called Barnack Leicas. This specific one is Leica III-A, and guess what? This one was made in 1938. Very much old, and even older than my parents. But guess what? It still works. And like a lot of people love Leica M rangefinders, but I think these Barnack Leicas deserve more love. So these cameras are called Barnack Leicas because Oscar Barnack, an inventor and a photographer, created this camera. Oscar Barnack is also the person who came up with an idea of using 35mm cinema film in photography. So in a way, these Barnack Leicas are like the godfather of 35mm film photography. Actually, this camera was my first Leica camera, and I bought this in Russia for a very cheap price. Like that's one of the points. These Barnack Leicas, you can often find it in a very affordable price. So, in a way, I think this could be a nice gateway to the world of Leica. But be careful, you might not be able to get out from it. Don't you think that this camera is so beautiful? It's like almost you can feel the history of photography. And also, it's built so well that even after 80 years, it's still working. And also, what I really love about this camera is that with these retractable lenses, you can put it like back in like this, and it becomes so compact that you can even put this in your pocket. Another thing that I really love about this camera is that it uses L39 or M39 screw mount. So there are so many fantastic lenses you can use, such as this Canon 50mm f1.4, which is also called Japanese Zoomilux. And also with these L39 screw mount lenses, you can use the adapter and use it on Leica M mount bodies too. Okay, however, you gotta remember that this camera is a very early form of 35mm film cameras. So, of course, there are some restrictions. Firstly, the viewfinder for this camera is only for 50mm lenses. When like some people call 50mm lenses standard lens? It's because for this camera, 50mm is the standard. So if you want to use some other different types of lenses, you need an external viewfinder like this. Well, it kind of looks cool this way too. Okay, secondly, there are two viewfinders. This one is for focusing, and this one is to actually see what you're taking picture of. So after you focus like this, you have to move to the other viewfinder and then take a picture. Well, the cameras before this sometimes even didn't have the focusing, so you could only guess by the distance. So back then, even having this was a very nice thing. Thirdly, this one is very important. The thing is, When you want to change the shutter speed, you have to cock the shutter before changing it, or else the camera will break. So please never forget. Cock it and then change the shutter speed. And fourthly, when you load a film inside this camera, you have to cut about 10 centimeters and then load it. Or else the film could be jammed inside the camera. But there is a way to do it without cutting it, but I'll talk about it in some different video. And lastly, on a sunny day, the sunlight can come into this lens and actually burn the shutter curtain. So, when you're walking around on a sunny day, you need to close it with the lens cap. Of course, this is a very old camera with some limitations, but it's also a very capable camera and you can use so many different fantastic lenses. So, if you're interested, why don't you give it a go? Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.